Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. Now this is a GW Panther, the GW Panther, the Tier 7 German SPG with a turret, and we're located on the north spawn of Murovanka. Now the name of the commander for this vehicle is Goliath Killer 1, and you've seen plenty of his videos before. Let's see how he gets on in this one. Well, he's off and moving to his firing position. GW Panther's got a 15cm howitzer for its main armament. It's one of the few Artys that didn't actually exist because it was never produced. It was a design concept created by Krups 1942-1943 to make use of the Panther hull. They made a few models, mock-ups of what it would actually look like, and showed this to the German High Command, but it never got the authorization to go into production. So Wargaming have taken those designs and those mock-ups and the pictures of them and created a working model for the game. And it is actually quite a good Arty because it's one of the few which actually has a turret. Of course, the other ones being the M53, M55, and of course the French Artys, the Tier 9 and Tier 10. Oh, lovely hit there on the Leo, 307 hit points. Yes, the Bachatilions, the 155-55 and the 155-58 have both got turrets, which makes them very effective. Now he's after that Leo again. Almost reloaded. Oh, it looked like he took a hit there which actually set off his fire extinguisher. Oh, yes it did. And in fact, actually, he burned to death. And it was the T-3485 who got him. He set him alight and he burned to death even while he was unsighted. But we've got another T-3485 on the enemy team who's actually moving up at the on the A row. And he's slowly creeping forward. And Goliath Killer fired around him, but I'm not sure he actually hit anything. But there's the AMX CDA-105, the French tank destroyer, the Tier 8 one, with a 105mm gun. And oh, this is going to be awkward for him. Yeah, he's been taken out. In fact, actually, it was the combination of the Type 64 and the T-3485 that actually did that. But that round went in and hit the T-34 because there was no explosion. So we did get a hit. And the next tank along is a Dicamax, and I don't think the T-3485 will survive that. He's already taken one hit from the Dicamax, and that shot from the E-25 finished him off. Right, now we've got some heavies at the heavy pass on the 2 column. And he's got an OHO and an ONI, as well as a VK3601. Now, if he fires around in there, he's more likely to hit more than one of them. Oh, well, that was unusual. He bounced the round off them, but didn't actually do any damage. He didn't penetrate them, but he did stun both tanks. So they were very lucky that that round went twang against the hull, but it still managed to do something to them. And he's lined up. He might as well shoot because I'm pretty sure they're still there. They are. Round out. He's going to hit the OHO. He did. 40 hit points off the OHO. I think that ONI is still there as well. Now he's having a look at the GW Panther, and there was a T-28 there as well. This is a Tier 8 game, by the way, so there's a very good chance Goliath Killer's going to make a lot more credits because he's hitting higher tier tanks. It's going after the 3601, gets a direct hit, 257. The only problem is that the enemy does seem to be pushing, and they are, well, they're gaining ground. That OHO and that ONI keep pushing up the same corner, and each time they do, it causes trouble. Well, he's got a nice hit on the OHO for 286. Now I think you can actually see the splash radius for the GW Panther is 8 meters. So that means 16 meters across. So he's got quite a wide area. He can do splash damage to quite a lot. Okay, rounds out. Now I think that round landed between the ONI and OHO, but it stunned both of them. And That 12-ton is risking a lot by going through there, but he did get a hit, and the Yoho's now down to 8 hit points, but the 12-ton was taken out. He was killed by the T-28, which is, of course, as we can see, in the one column overlooking that area. And that splash took out the Yoho. So Goliath Killer's got his first kill. But that Tiger is attacking the Oni. He's stunned. They're both tier 7 heavies. And the Oni is taking fire from other people as well. Goliath Killer's loaded. Round out. Oh, that was a nice big hit there. 185. The Oni's on his last legs now. He's only got 7 hit points. The scores are fairly equal. But the enemy did... Well, the enemy did have a tank in their territory, but he's just been taken out. That was the KV-85. Only trouble is, the east side of the map has fallen to the enemy team, and there's the 88, and that proves that they did capture the Magic Forest. And TVP's going up to try and deal with the 88, and I think the Goliath Killer's going to try and have a go as well. Oh, doesn't need to. The TVP got him. But we have the enemy team, even though it's down 2 tanks. They've still got that T-28, and that's, I think, the major problem. He's still full health. There's a T-69. Oh, fighting out with the Rudy. And, oh, he's got a fire on the Rudy. Rudy's gone down. Now, this could be awkward. That T-69 in combination with the T-28 could actually be very, very bad for his team. They've managed to claw a tank back. And even though that E-25 is going into action, he's going into action against somebody who could actually finish that E-25 off. Oh, he fires a round in. He damages the T-69 and he stuns him. But the E-25 has lost a few hit points there. Oh, he's lost a lot. He's now a one-shot. It won't take much to lose that. And the E-25 goes down to the Oni, who's still around, but only 7 hit points. He wasn't finished off. Tiger's coming up to deal with that Oni, and he finishes him. Now, where's this going to go? Even though they're 2 tanks ahead, the enemy still has an Arty. They still have that T-28. And that T-28 just finished off the Tiger. Now, they still don't know where the enemy Arty is. And the enemy Arty is an M12. The M12 is fairly comparable to the GW Panther. The problem here is that that T-28 could easily take out the Dicamax and the TVP. So unless Goliath Killer helps his teammates by pinning down that T-28, this could end very badly. Both of them appear to be headed towards the enemy cap. There's the T-28. It's been located. Now Goliath Killer needs to put a round into him, right into his side. Dialing in. Round out. The T-28 is a pretty tough tank destroyer. He's been stunned, but I don't think that's going to slow him down, really. He's still full health. And that Dicamax has only got 25% health. He's a one-shot for the T-28. And Dicamax is trying to use the ridgeline to shoot. And that's a good hit there. 113 hit points. The one thing about the Dicamax is it has got good gun depression. But the T-28 is using his position as well to defend. They've lost sight of him temporarily. And of course they still don't know where the M12 is. The TVP is going along the borderline at the south, looking for the M12. But of course, whilst he's looking for the M12, he could suddenly find it and get shotgunned by it. He's only got a fraction of his health left. Now, Goliath Killer's trying to dial in on the area where the TVP is about to come across. I suspect that the M12 has moved. He may be further north. Well, he's found the T28, but he hasn't found the M12. And the Dicamax was just taken out by the T28. There's the M12. Oh, the M12 took a big hit there. But he's got the T28 to defend him. And I suspect he's reloading and he's about to shotgun. Well, he did fire, but he missed. TVP's still alive, and Goliath Killer takes out the M12. Now, can he get the T28? Well, at least he's going to be firing at the rear of the T28. Keeps losing sight of it. Oh, that was the TVP. The T28 got him. And the round goes in, and it only splashes the T28 for 145 hit points. This is now very awkward. It's just Goliath Killer versus that T28, and that T28 has got 3/4 of his health. This is very awkward. The best thing that Goliath Killer can do now is to set up an ambush position so he can wait for the T28 to turn up at this end and try and hit him really hard very quickly. Ideal ambush position is one of the trees at the back on the other side, not this side of the cap, the other side of the cap. But in order to shoot at the T28, he's going to have to see him first. There's nobody spotting for him anymore, so he has to actually look through the trees, see the T28, pull back so he can use the push mechanic, and then hit him. But the problem normally with Arty is when you pull back like that, you are spotted, and that's when they take you out. These are the bushes I would normally go to if I was going to shoot in that direction. Okay, it looks like he's going to use these bushes. That's okay, because he can double bush it from here. He's looking back to the cap. The only problem is there are a set of bushes there that the T28 could be hide behind, you see. Now, the reason he's aligned his gun the way he has at the moment, or positioned his vehicle the way he has at the moment, is because if the T28 was to make a direct route to the cap, he's going to come through the town. And that might give Goliath Killer the chance to intercept him or fire at him before he gets to the cap. And once the T28 reaches the cap, he just has to turn slightly to the right to align the gun so he's got a good field of fire directly over the cap. That's the 2-minute hooter. Oh, and the T28 is in the cap. So he now needs to turn, go slightly forward so he can have a look through the trees. And that should enable him to spot the T28. I think he's holding on just to see if the T28 is going to come hunting for him. No, I think that T28 is going to sit in the cap and wait for the GW to come to him. Yeah, I think that's what he's intending to do. Goliath Killer might be waiting for the clock to count up to a high enough level so he can get a defender medal. Okay, he's gone to that bush. There's the T28. Okay, can see him, but can the T28 see him? No, don't think so. Oh no, he could see him. Oh dear, no, the front of the vehicle was poking out. Yeah. Oh, that's such a pity because this could have worked. Yeah, the front of the vehicle was poking out and the T28 saw him. He didn't have Sixth Sense. Obviously, if he'd had Sixth Sense, it would have gone off and he would have known that he was spotted and he could have pulled back, but no, unfortunately it didn't work. But he still ended the battle with a win rate of 2,995. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, he managed to get a bruiser medal for that battle. He managed to get 12 critical hits altogether, but unfortunately he didn't pick any epic medals up for that one. So let's have a look at the team scores. Well, he got the highest damage on his team, 2,268 hit points. He didn't get the highest number of kills. He got second highest, or joint second highest, with the Dickomax and the E25, 2 kills apiece. TVP managed to get 3. But when it came to XP, yep, I'm afraid third place with 525 base experience points. He fired 19 rounds, got 9 direct hits, 8 penetrations, and 11 splash. Damage of 2,268 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit, 1 penetration from the T28, and it did finish him off. He damaged 8 of the enemy, but he killed 2 of them. And he did stun assistance of 411 hit points off 18 stuns. He did manage to get 16 defense points. I think that was when earlier during the battle, not actually at that particular point where he fired, or later on during the battle. But he only received 21,143 credits, but he got a personal missions payout of 5,000 credits, and after repair, ammunition resupply, he still had 1,277 credits. And that's a bit odd actually, because I think he fired a lot of rounds, but just didn't get enough damage to actually give him sufficient compensation to make the battle profitable. Mind you, if he'd been on a premium account, he still would have had 11,000 credits, and that would have been decent. He received 525 base XP, but it had a personal reserves bonus of 263 and a personal missions payout of 131, giving him a grand total of 919 base or experience points altogether. So bad luck. T28, they're always a problem. And it's one of those tank destroyers that you need to focus on because they're bad news. If you end up in a situation like that, then all you can do is try and set up an ambush, and unfortunately the ambush didn't work this time because the enemy did see you when you were moved forward to that bush. I think if you'd stayed in the line of bushes that you were in and just moved gradually forward through them, he wouldn't have seen you until you had actually seen him, and then you could have lined him up for a shot. But he still had so much health, it would have taken far more than 1 shot to take him out. And therefore I think that the only thing you could have done is play for a defender medal, which would of course equalise your score with that of the winning team. But better luck next time, Goliath Killer. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.